Good afternoon, everyone. Virgo Triad. It is May 13th, 2019, and I'd like to introduce you to Fred. Fred is an economic research group that is part of the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. And just very recently, our very own Mr. Dent put up a video with regards to Fred and asked the question, why would the Federal Reserve be tracking birth rates? It must have something to do with the fact that they're, I don't know, maybe trading our birth certificates on the stock market, everyone? Well, we all know Harvey loves his conspiracy theories. But I'm here to tell you what the real truth is about Fred, and the reason why the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis actually has a group of individuals that do track the birth rates and what it is used for. See, there's no conspiracy behind it. There's no wonderful, sensationalized, we're going to find out any day that we've got these $3 million in bonds on our birth certificates and all of this garbage. No, none of that exists. That's all a bunch of garbage. It's a 40-year scam that I've been talking about for 2 years. And the majority of you already know. But confusing misinformation continues to come out of that channel, and many others for that matter, about this type of subject. So I'm going to clear this up now before it gets out of hand and anybody actually believes that the garbage that's being spewed is real. Fred was actually something that was born 25 years ago. So again, if these birth certificate bonds are real, they weren't tracking it till 25 years ago there, Mr. Dent. Regardless. And there was actually a woman that, matter of fact, I'll just read this to you. Fred was born of a woman. That may sound Shakespearean or even biblical, but it's metaphorically true. Laura Hallman, former St. Louis Fed research coordinator, brought Fred to life. Fred toddled around as a bulletin board service for a few years before Hallman made a more ambitious appeal in the summer of 1995 to introduce Fred to the masses of the World Wide Web. She convinced senior management to take a chance on her baby, armed with an old computer running Linux, a dedicated ISDN line, and an upload process that involved magnetic tape. See, there's a very good reason why it's important for the Fed to track birth rates, and I'm about to show you what that is. Taking you over to the Associated Press, and I want to show you what has been occurring and why there's a concern. One of the biggest things that the Federal Reserve actually has that is important to us as a population are a bunch of economists. And economists need to be able to foresee the future to some extent. That's what they're there for, to assist us in case we are getting ready to hit some form of recession or, God forbid, depression, and to try to figure out a way ahead of time to make sure that there are provisions put in place so that that doesn't happen. Currently, we're under a situation where we have the lowest U.S. birth rate in 3 decades, and that could pose a risk to the economy. This was actually an article that was put out by the Associated Press May 17th of last year. And it states that this February 16th, 2017, the file photo that shows newborn babies in the nursery of a postpartum recovery center in upstate New York, women in the United States gave birth last year at the lowest rate in 3 decades, a trend that could weigh on economic growth in the future decades. The number of babies born in the U.S. has fallen for 3 straight years. And as births decline and the population ages, fewer Americans are available to work or start businesses, thereby slowing the economy. Now, the economy is something that is extremely important in terms of what the Federal Reserve does for the nation. I'm going to go ahead and link this in the description because I think it's really important that you guys have the opportunity to read through it, especially if you've been confused by one of the many videos that channels that are not as honest and don't do as good a research have put up. The real truth is that it's necessary for the Fed to actually make sure that they know what the birth rate is, mainly because they have to be able to determine the best they possibly can of what could occur in the next 10 to 15 years in order to make sure that they have some kind of plan put in place should this actual trend continue and we really don't have more births or we really don't have enough people to make the economy flow in the manner that it's supposed to. To ensure that there's more than just one piece of sourced information that I can put up on this video, I'm also going to put up this one, which is very interesting. And it is called What Everyone's Missing, or Everyone's Missing the Obvious About the Decline U.S. Birth Rate. And a lot of this, of course, would not be possible without tracking the birth rates. It's a specific group that does it because we're dealing with a group of economists that need to know this. So I just wanted to make this short video so that everybody was actually aware that, number one, Fred is a graph of information, both historical and current, that you can take a look at to see what's happening yourself. It's not hidden. It's not secret information. It's nothing private. It is simply something that was put in place 25 years ago for economic research purposes in order for economists to be as well informed as possible. I hope this helps with anybody who might have been confused about it, and I hope everybody has a great day. Bye-bye.